worked with some very large global hedge funds in the quant space. Because at Avendus at one point of time, we used to manage almost 7,500 crores of long short assets in India. Any change, you have to adapt. ऐसी कोई strategy नहीं है कि मैंने let's say 16 साल पहले बनाई और आज चलती आ रही है. Most investors try to slot their portfolios into two parts. या तो मुझे equity में invest करना है या तो debt में invest करना है. Sentiment से फर्क पड़ता है because sentiment ultimately impacts flows. Does it impact stocks? Does it impact sectors? Answer is yes.
What is Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3?
Alternate investment funds जो AIF बोलते हैं उसके अंदर the minimum investment amount is 1 crore. Why should somebody even look at quant? Passives 15 years back in US was less than 20% market share. Today it's more than 50% market share. In 2025 calendar year in US, almost $1 trillion came into ETFs and almost $250 billion got redeemed from pure active strategies. So I am saying passive grow karega, active quant bhi grow karega. So funds which are managed by active fund managers, a lot of them or a large part of them are not able to beat the benchmark. Almost 80% of the funds, active funds in the US, are underperforming the benchmark. So that is the data because of which people are moving towards passives. तो logically investor बोलेगा कि भाई मैं बीटा कमाने के लिए मैं क्यों फीस भरूं? Ultimately investors को तो अल्फा चाहिए. सब लोग बीटा से खुश नहीं होने वाले हैं.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dhan's podcast. Today with us we have Mr. Bhautik Ambani, who is the CEO of AlphaGrep AMC. He has over 20 years of market experience and he has worked with companies like Kotak Mahindra Bank, Avendus, Mirae Asset, and currently he is the CEO at AlphaGrep. Welcome to the podcast, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Sir, before we start with the questions and everything, I want to know about your journey, where it all started, and how did you get into this field? A lot of our users would love to know that कि कैसे आप इस field में आए, कैसे आपने बहुत सारी I think well-known companies में काम किया, and recently you are into quant trading and that company is now getting into the AMC side of the things. That will be really interesting. So can you shed some light on that?
Sure. So see, stock markets were always of interest to me. And उसका एक simple कारण था कि my father was a stockbroker. So बचपन से I have seen the stock markets very closely. And the good part was that के because I've seen it very closely, I've also seen multiple cycles, right? So which goes back to even 94 when the Harshad Mehta scam happened to what we've seen so far. So it was always intriguing, very interesting. So once I completed my masters, I started with a mutual fund entity. So largely my career has been split into two halves. अब देखोगे तो 20 साल में से पहले 10 साल I was pretty much part of the mutual fund industry. So I've worked with a couple of mutual funds, including Pramerica and Mirae Asset. Around that time, I also spent a couple of years distribution mein. So I was also with Kotak Wealth, more so on the research side. And then primarily a large part of the last, let's say, 10-12 years, I have spent on alternate asset management. तो जो अपन globally बोलते हैं hedge funds, and India में that comes under category 3 AIFs. So I spent the bulk of that time there. And then while I was with Avendus around that time, so अब देखोगे तो large part of my journey, whether it's mutual fund, whether it's hedge fund, it was working closely with fund managers, right? And when I say fund managers, the approach is where people are taking decisions, right, in terms of what to buy, sell, and what in simple terms is called discretionary fund manager. जहाँ पे लोग डिसीजन ले रहे हैं based on whatever, it could be intuition, it could be gut, it could be anything else. Around that time, in fact, we actually dabbled into quant. And the reason we dabbled into quant while, before joining AlphaGrep.
Oh, so which company was it?
This was Avendus.
Avendus, okay.
We actually dabbled into quant because, as a team, whatever we were doing was with fund managers. And we realized that कि हमको अगर जो grow करना है, right, the segment that we are missing today was potentially quant. And that's the reason we actually met someone, we got an entire team on board, which could actually bring in the entire quant vertical into our business at that point of time. I was very closely involved, in kind of identifying the right people, meeting a lot of people. And that was actually my first time kind of experience in understanding what this world kind of entails, right? And then the whole thing got solidified when I met Mohit. Mohit, who's one of the co-founders at AlphaGrep. So we'll talk more about AlphaGrep's journey, but just while I'm talking about my journey. So when I met Mohit, what I realized and understood is a very different world of quant, right? And the depths, the breadth of what quant can bring. Now it's been around 3.5 years since I moved here. So I moved here to kind of partner, set up, head the India asset management business. We've done a few things, so we'll talk about that, but that's largely been my journey over the last 20 plus years.
So how was the shift? Like you told, you were with Kotak and Mirae Asset in the mutual fund industry, and then you shifted to AIF. So what was the shift did you see? Like I think AIF is very niche category comparatively from MF. Like mutual fund to सबको पता है I think, but AIF लोगों को पता नहीं है. So the how was the shift? I think you were in distribution also. So MF
Yes.
distribution is like, okay, people know about it. But did you try to distribute AIF also?
Yes. So, see, after spending almost a decade on the mutual fund side, after a point, what happens is that to a certain extent, there is some amount of monotonousness which comes in, right? Like 2012 was around the time when SEBI brought in the AIF regulations. When I moved from the mutual fund industry to Ambit, we were one of the first ones who had kind of launched a Cat 3 AI for a hedge fund in India.
Okay.
See, in some sense, it was still public markets because hedge funds means you're still investing in the market. So it's not like it's some other industry. But the interesting part is that you are able to participate on both sides of the market.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And not just one side of the market. That was something which was very, very interesting, which intrigued me to kind of take that plunge. It was a risk at that point of time because, AIFs the nahi uske pehle, ye segment mein kya hoga, what will people kind of, whether they will accept it or not. दूसरा आपको पता है कि मतलब AIF में आपको मिनिमम 1 करोड़ का चेक साइज डालना है.
So उस टाइम भी 1 करोड़ ही था.
उस टाइम पे 1 करोड़ भी था. इनफैक्ट इवन व्हाट इज इंटरेस्टिंग इज कि व्हेन आई मूव्ड देयर एंड बिकॉज वी वर टॉकिंग अ न्यू कैटेगरी, राइट, लॉन्ग शॉर्ट, मोस्ट पीपल वर नॉट exposed to long short funds in India because that was pretty much the start of hedge funds in India, right? Whereas globally to matlab hedge funds have been existent for more than 50 years. It's an allocation play globally, right, which is still not the case in India. The point I'm coming to is that even though it was a new thing, for us to take it to clients or even to, let's say, take it to our distribution partners, which were largely wealth managers, it was an entire journey around education. So we had to actually, because as soon as you talk the word derivatives, F&O, the first thing that it comes to somebody's mind is कि boss ये सट्टा है.
Correct. There is hesitation.
Right. There is hesitation, and people also start thinking कि boss F&O है, so it means high risk.
Correct.
That's how people kind of perceive long short or derivatives at that point of time. So we had to go through the entire journey for almost 3 to 5 years, where we had to kind of make every partner of ours or every investor of ours to kind of understand, what this actually means. And it's not necessary कि आप long short कर रहे हो तो उससे risk बढ़ रहा है. Actually, you are able to reduce risk.
Yeah.
By
You're
participating.
capturing both sides of the move.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Because you can participate both sides, you are actually able to reduce risk, reduce volatility, reduce drawdowns.
Yeah.
So in some sense, you are able to create a hedge.
Yes.
Rather than, just increasing risk, right? So that is something that we did at that point of time. So that was a very interesting journey because it was the education or that visibility that we had to create.
Apart from education, I think the strategy making would also have been like really interesting when you were making those strategies. Yeah.
We did that. So let's say the initial strategy was already designed, but see, होता क्या है ना कि one is to have a strategy which is trying to deliver something, right? In terms of risk return. When I say trying to deliver something from a risk return point of view, but it is more important कि उसको आपको पोजीशन कैसे करना है. बिकॉज व्हेन यू थिंक ऑफ इट, आज जब आप खुद का भी पोर्टफोलियो देखोगे या कोई इन्वेस्टर का पोर्टफोलियो देखोगे तो मोस्ट इन्वेस्टर्स ट्राई टू स्लॉट देयर पोर्टफोलियोज इनटू 2 पार्ट्स. या तो मुझे इक्विटी में इन्वेस्ट करना है या तो डेट में इन्वेस्ट करना है. सो दे थिंक ऑफ वन एज मोर लाइक अ रिस्क बकेट एंड वन एज मोर लाइक अ कैपिटल प्रोटेक्शन, लो रिस्क एंड समथिंग विच कैन जनरेट सम काइंड ऑफ कंसिस्टेंट रिटर्न काइंड ऑफ अ बकेट. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट कि आप कोई भी स्ट्रैटेजी ला रहे हो तो उसको स्लॉट का करना है, पोजिशन का करना है, एंड हाउ शुड इन्वेस्टर थिंक अबाउट इट. आई थिंक दैट हैज टू बी वेरी वेरी क्लियर. और वो जब तक आप क्लियर नहीं करते हो, it becomes a challenge.
And then you went to Avendus. That would have been like Avendus.
So Avendus, to be honest, Ambit Avendus was pretty much, we had the same team. So Andrew Holland, myself, we were almost like a 10-member team which moved from Ambit to Avendus.
Okay.
So it was more like an extension for us because it was the same team which was just continued doing what we were doing, but at a much bigger scale at Avendus. Because at Avendus at one point of time we used to manage almost 7,500 crores of long short assets in India.
So how was the liquidity back then, like when you started in Ambit or Avendus? Like, were the volumes good?
I think the volumes were pretty decent. Obviously, at that point of time, our strategy, we used to only, invest or dabble in one part of the market segment, which was largely around single stock futures. And as we know, a larger part of the volumes is in the options market, more so on the index options side. So we were not trading that part of the segment in any major way. It's only at AlphaGrep that we pretty much trade all segments.
Talking about AlphaGrep, so it's been almost 16 years and it's like a really big name now, one of the big quant trading firms in India. How did it start and how is it going right now?
It's a very interesting journey. So AlphaGrep, as you mentioned, 16 साल पहले शुरू हुआ. This was started by 2 of my colleagues, Mohit Mutreja, Prashant Mittal, the other 2 co-founders of AlphaGrep. AlphaGrep. Before starting AlphaGrep, दोनों का background काफी similar है. Both are Wharton pass outs, have a combination that is usually required in this field, which is a combination of computer science and finance. Worked with some very large global hedge funds in the quant space. So Mohit worked with firms like Citadel, D. Shaw. Prashant worked with a firm called AQR. These are firms which manage tens of billions of dollars and have been in existence for decades now. So got the experience, exposure. फिर इंडिया आए, खुद का स्टार्ट करना था. So in 2010 is when they started off as a JV. JV with them, and there was a JV partner who kind of agreed to seed that business venture at that point of time.
Okay.
So that's how it started as a 50-50 JV. Then along the way they expanded. So when they started with HFT, high frequency trading. Then जैसे आपको पता होगा क्वांट में HFT के साथ साथ mid to low frequency भी होता है. So MFT, LFT जो अपन बोलते हैं. So then they expanded into other frequencies. Obviously there's no specific definition, but broadly I'll tell you. So HFT is where you are largely doing intraday and you are buying and selling in a matter of, let's say, milliseconds to seconds or maybe minutes. So that's largely HFT. Largely trades which a naked eye can't even spot. Mid to low frequency are strategies which can be defined where your holding periods can be a few hours to maybe a few days. That's how the two buckets kind of get defined. So your holding period पे define होता है whether it's high frequency versus mid to low frequency.
So HFTs are automated also, like
in our case everything is automated.
LFTs, everything.
Everything is automated. You know, हम लोग के वहाँ it's very simple. So we spend a lot of time in developing data and let's say alphas or signals. But एक बार बना लिया, then the idea is to trust what we've built.
Okay. And once in a while you must be like checking all the...
So once in a while नहीं. So oversight is always there. Which is more from a risk perspective. You know, कुछ break नहीं हो रहा है, data ठीक से आ रहा है, and the algorithms are working fine. That's continuous. The second thing which is continuous is you have to keep upgrading your signals. ऐसी कोई strategy नहीं है कि मैंने let's say 16 साल पहले बनाई और आज चलती आ रही है. ऐसे ही doesn't happen. Doesn't work that way. Any strategy that you build आज नहीं तो कल, it'll start let's say decaying, stop working. So that's where the researchers come in. So we'll talk a little more about that as well, like how is AlphaGrep structured today. But just coming back, so one is we expanded into other segments. So HFT say mid to low frequency. That is one level of diversification. Second level of diversification was we also entered into global markets. So slowly, steadily, you know, entered into some of the global markets, including US, Europe, and a few others. Let's come to where we are today. So today, AlphaGrep, you know, along the way, the JV partner actually unfortunately passed away, and they bought out the stake. So now AlphaGrep is 100% owned between Mohit and Prashant and their families.
What will be the AUM around? Like?
So our net worth is closer to 2,500 crores. So that is what we deploy in India and global markets. We are connected to around 30 exchanges worldwide. On many days, you know, our market share on NSE, BSE would be around, let's say, 3 to 5% of daily volumes. BSE closer to maybe 7-8% of daily volumes, depending on, you know, certain days.
Major chunk is Indian markets. What's the split like?
It's a broadly like a 60-40 split. So 60% of our revenues come from India, still 60-65%. The balance 35-40% come from global markets. अब देखोगे तो हमारे पास आज की तारीख में तकरीबन 450 एम्प्लॉइज है, present across 8 countries worldwide. तो 450 एम्प्लॉइज का स्प्लिट इस तरह है, broadly into 3 segments. Around half of them are what we call quant researchers traders. So in very simple terms, these are the guys who come up with strategies. या in common parlance जो अपन बोलते हैं investment team. तो 250 लोगों की investment team है in the firm. We have another, because technology is very important, data is very important, right? So that's another 100-125 people who work on technology. So they are the guys who built the entire order management system, connectivity to exchanges. We have a separate team within that which only is responsible for data, right? Because तरह का data हम use करते हैं, alternate data sets, traditional data sets, पुराना data है, उसको clean करना है, store करना है, right? So all of that is important, and the rest is support functions. Plus आप देखोगे तो because we trade global markets, we also have a presence outside India. So almost a third of our employees sit outside India. So 450 में से तकरीबन 150 लोग इंडिया के बाहर बैठते हैं. दूसरा आप देखोगे तो another way to look at our team is almost 450 में से anywhere between 300 to 350 would be engineers. I believe at least maybe more than 200 of them are maybe from the top 3 or 4 IITs in India. So it's a very high pedigree talent pool. When you think about it, this business is about only 2 things, right? It's people and technology.
Yeah, correct.
And this is where we've invested. Over a period of time. So that is something that we've done. In this journey, आप देखोगे तो so large part of the 16 years, you know, what we've been doing is building this infra, building these capabilities to just manage proprietary capital or our own money. It's around 4 years back that what Mohit and Prashant realized is that कि ये जो institutional grade infra हमने create किया है, why don't we also extend this to outside investors? And that's the reason they took a decision of getting into managing asset management or what we call third party money. तो आप देखोगे तो आज एट अ ग्रुप लेवल वी हैव मल्टीपल वर्टिकल्स ऑफ एसेट मैनेजमेंट. वी हैव अ बिजनेस इन यूके, वी हैव अ बिजनेस इन चाइना विच ऑपरेट्स एज अ जेवी, एंड देन द थर्ड इज इंडिया एसेट मैनेजमेंट वर्टिकल. तीनों में मिला के इन द लास्ट 3 to 4 years एक्सटर्नल कैपिटल जो बोलते हैं दैट वी रेज्ड अराउंड $1 billion. इंडिया के बाहर जो भी रेज किया है इज लार्जली इंस्टीट्यूशनल कैपिटल, whereas इंडिया में जो भी रेज किया है so far has been largely
Retail.
not retail, it's more HNIs and family offices. Because last 3-4 साल में इंडिया में हमने अभी तक जो किया है was largely a combination of Cat 3 IFs, hedge funds जो बोलते हैं, long only PMS, cash equities में, a GIFT City fund. So it's largely a combination of these things. और ये सारे products जैसे आपको पता है कि they are largely catered to more high net worth family offices. And we've been partnering with, working with wealth management outfits for all these strategies. And it's just a month back that we got our mutual fund license. So जो अब तक हम खुद के लिए कर रहे थे, few years back we offered that to institutions, family offices, high net worths, and now the whole idea is to take this to retail.
Got it. So I have two questions. One is like, can you explain to our users what is Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3?
Sure.
They'll get to know कि AIFs क्या होते हैं, PMS क्या होते हैं. What's the minimum investment amount they need to put to get into this?
Sure. So answer the second one first, minimum amount. So alternate investment funds जो AIF बोलते हैं, उसके अंदर the minimum investment amount is 1 crore for any investor at a pan level. PMS में the minimum investment amount is 50 lakhs. In case of AIF, तो AIF है ना एक बहुत ही diverse category है, segment है. तो इसके अंदर आप देखोगे तो SEBI ने category 1, 2, 3 define किया है. Broadly आप देखोगे तो the way it is defined is category 1 is largely a combination of either social funds or some kind of infra funds. Category 3 is largely public market funds. Public market जो मतलब markets में invest कर सकते हैं, listed markets में invest कर सकते हैं. इसके अंदर भी आप देखोगे तो broadly 2 categories हैं Cat 3 में public markets में. एक है जो long only funds है. Long only funds are funds which are only investing in one side of the market, right? Which can only buy stocks and build portfolios, long term, short term, जैसे भी आप देखो. Generally what you see in mutual funds, उस तरह के products या PMS में जो देखते हैं, उस तरह के funds. And the second category is more long short funds, जो अपन hedge funds बोलते हैं. Again within long short funds भी आप देखोगे तो there'll be products which will be diverse. कुछ low risk होंगे, कुछ medium risk होंगे, कुछ high risk होंगे. So that is Cat 3. Cat 2 is a much bigger category because category 2 में आप generally देखोगे तो you can largely invest in unlisted markets. तो unlisted में you can invest either unlisted में आप equity कर सकते हो, आप unlisted में debt कर सकते हो, right? तो इसके अंदर आप देखोगे तो you will find जो अपन बोलते हैं private equity funds, venture capital funds, real estate funds, credit funds. So a lot of these category of products come into category 2.
Okay.
Right, so that's how it is. Coming to PMS generally is a product which is again for high net worths because minimum ticket size आप देखोगे तो 50 लाख है. And most products in the PMS space are largely long only products जो equities में invest करते हैं. Obviously you have other segments in PMS also, तो कुछ multi asset funds चलाते हैं, कुछ debt products भी चलाते हैं. But the biggest category is long only funds. And long only में भी आप देखोगे तो मतलब somebody could be running let's say a small cap portfolio, somebody could be running flexi caps, somebody could be running let's say a top 200 portfolio. वो depend करता है on the PMS manager and their strategy.
So आपके like say PMS या AIF में से what all have been like say some of the flagship funds which have given like say good returns over the past. So can you mention the returns also which they have given say in the last 3-4 years? And I really want to know what is say in the last 1 year what's the return of the HFT also if possible.
See some of this obviously I also may not have access to because it's prop. The mandate of the strategy is to try and make absolute returns.
Okay.
ऐसा नहीं है कि it can't have negative returns. So usually आप देखोगे हम लोग का historical track record तो it would have at least साल भर में market कहाँ पे भी गया हो तो it usually doesn't have more than 1 or 2 months of negative returns.
Okay. Drawdown काफी कम है.
Drawdown काफी कम है, काफी managed है because यहाँ पे जो strategies चलाते हैं वहाँ पे हम लोग की strategies का beta is close to 0 और उसका correlation to market is also very close to 0.
So it's like market link नहीं है.
Market link नहीं है. Investors को उसमें ये फायदा मिलता है कि भाई मुझे market 24,000 पे 26,000 पे या 22 पे चला गया, मुझे उसका stress नहीं है. मुझे ये है कि भाई market कहीं पे भी हो, it is generating certain consistent returns.
And that is long only.
That is long short.
Long short, okay.
Long only से आप ये कर नहीं सकते, right?
Possible.
Because if you're only participant one side of the market गिरेगा तो you will bound to kind of lose money, right?
Yeah.
यहाँ पे this is only possible because we run certain strategies which are what is called in common parlance market neutral, right? Or delta neutral kind of strategies. तो उस तरह की strategies हम वहाँ पे चलाते हैं in the AIF space. So वो एक conservative strategy है. Broadly जो हम target करते हैं from a return perspective is around 14-15% gross returns, but इसके अंदर because derivatives है तो tax लगता है. तो after fees, after tax, generally investors को around जो अब तक जो हमारे इन्वेस्टर्स लेट्स से हमारे साथ 3-3.5 साल से हैं, दे आर मेकिंग पोस्ट फीस पोस्ट टैक्स रिटर्न्स व्हिच आर क्लोजर टू अराउंड 7%.
Talking about taxes and regulations, recently we have seen a lot of regulations come in by SEBI. We have seen FTT also बढ़ गया है अभी, और weekly expiry बंद हुई थी. तो what all changes does it make to your firm or like even HFTs and all that?
So see, any change you have to adapt. If there is any change, it is going to create a break in whatever you are doing, whether it's a regulatory change, whether it's a market structure change, or whether it's a regime change. कोई भी ऐसा change आता है तो आपको एक break लगता है, and more so from a fact that कि अगर जो आप quant strategy चला रहे हो, see normally quant strategy में क्या होता है कि you are ultimately running that strategy on a certain market behavior. अगर जो market का behavior change हो रहा है कोई भी कारण से, तो naturally your strategy also has to adapt to that behavior. क्योंकि behavior change हो गया ना, एक pattern change हो गया market में, तो उसके लिए कुछ समय लगेगा या लगता है. Obviously, वो समय कोई फिक्स नहीं है. कुछ टाइम वो समय could be 2-3 months, could that समय could be maybe 6 months. But normally if there is a regime change, there is a certain period in which there is, जो हम बोलते हैं transition period है, वो transition period होता है जबकि strategy को adapt करने के लिए time लगता है. So it's just that, and ये natural and normal है. ये every few years या तो regulatory कारण या तो market के कारण से या तो what we are seeing today globally with what is happening, whether it's geopolitics or something, structural changes आते रहते हैं, regime changes आते रहते हैं. You have to just adapt to that new market structure.
Got it. तो I think बहुत सारे traders हमारे हैं कि उनको लगता है कि quant firms like बहुत कुछ crazy strategies चला रही हैं. I really want to know, is it dependent on the strategy or the execution? Like how does a quant trading firm operate?
It's always a combination. Execution is कि जो आपने जो बना दिया वो सिर्फ वहाँ पे deployed है और वो trade हो रहा है. Net what is important is the signals that you create or the alphas that you create. And that is where bulk of the time goes in for our researchers, because वो क्या कर रहे हैं कि they are going through let's say decades of data. Either it could be India, it could be global markets. So they're looking at historical data. They are looking at patterns. They're looking at certain behavior in that pattern. And then ultimately creating some signals. And the signals also are a bunch of signals that you create, because आप एक signal नहीं बना सकते, right? So it's like a portfolio approach कि आपको you have to create a bunch of signals. इसके अंदर दूसरा ये भी है, जैसे आप देखोगे तो one of the advantages for AlphaGraph मैं जो बोलूँगा, and the reason I'm saying this is because होता क्या है ना कि ultimately for any strategy or any quant strategy to do well, the raw material is data, and जितना अच्छा quality data होगा उतना ही robust आपका model होगा, उतनी robust आपकी strategy होगी. So to give you an example here, because AlphaGraph का DNA, experience, history is all about quant, the advantage that we have is that we have access to data, historical data, clean data and breadth of data, which is very difficult to get. ये public data है, but इसमें invest किया है AlphaGraph ने. तो आप देखोगे तो काफी चीजों में हम लोग के पास data होगा जो काफी पुराना होगा, जो आज की तारीख में कोई लेने भी जाएगा उसको शायद मिले भी, बट वो उस फॉर्मेट में नहीं मिलेगा जो आप क्लीन करके या आप ऐसे यूज कर सकते हो. तो यहाँ पे एडवांटेज क्या है कि वी हैव हिस्ट्री और हिस्टोरिकल डेटा अवेलेबल अबाउट अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू गेट. दैट्स वन, राइट, इन अ क्लीन फॉर्मेट. तो एक उसका फर्क पड़ जाता है कि आपके पास डेप्थ है डेटा का. दूसरा क्या है ना कि आवर डेटा इज नॉट जस्ट ट्रेडिशनल डेटा कि लेट्स से मैंने सिर्फ टेक्निकल डेटा ले लिया, प्राइस वॉल्यूम डेटा, या सिर्फ फंडामेंटल डेटा दे लिया. वी ऑल्सो सब्सक्राइब टू अ लॉट ऑफ ऑल्टरनेटिव डेटा. टू गिव यू एन एग्जांपल, वी विल हैव ऑल्टरनेटिव डेटा लाइक सेंटिमेंट स्कोर्स, राइट. वी विल हैव सर्टेन डेटा अराउंड एनालिस्ट एस्टिमेट्स. तो ये सारा जो ऑल्टरनेटिव डेटा है वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. लाइक डू यू बिलीव दैट सेंटिमेंट्स ड्राइव स्टॉक प्राइसेस और सेक्टर्स? आंसर इज यस, राइट. सेंटिमेंट से फर्क पड़ता है बिकॉज सेंटिमेंट अल्टीमेटली इंपैक्ट्स फ्लोज. अगर जो फ्लोज को इंपैक्ट है तो वो अल्टीमेटली स्टॉक प्राइस में भी कहीं ना कहीं रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा है. इट माइट बी अ शॉर्ट टर्म इंपैक्ट, बट इंपैक्ट तो है. सो द एडवांटेज हियर इज दैट बिकॉज वी हैव एक्सेस टू नॉट जस्ट ट्रेडिशनल डेटा बट अलॉन्ग विद ट्रेडिशनल डेटा ऑल्टरनेटिव डेटा एंड प्लस हिस्ट्री अवेलेबल है. उस डेटा के कारण क्या है ना, द मॉडल्स दैट वी कैन कम अप विथ आर अ लॉट मोर रोबस्ट. और दूसरा क्या होता है ना, बिकॉज वी हैव अ सेपरेट टीम विच वर्क्स ऑन डेटा एंड माय रिसर्चर्स आर सेपरेट, राइट. तो फर्क क्या होता है कि डेटा टीम ने तो डेटा क्लीन करके स्टोर कर लिया है. रिसर्चर को देन दे स्ट्रेट अवे गेट एक्सेस टू दिस लाइब्रेरी टू स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन मॉडल्स. वेयरएज इफ आई वाज डूइंग दिस एज इंडिविजुअल, मुझे सारा काम खुद करना पड़ता, जो डेटा भी खुद लाना पड़ता,
क्लीन भी करना,
राइट, उसको क्लीन भी करना पड़ता, उसको स्टोर भी करना पड़ता. प्लस आई शुड हैव टेक्नोलॉजी वेयर आई कैन स्टोर दिस इन अ सर्टेन वे, एक्सेस इट इन अ सर्टेन वे. So that is one part of it, right? So which is data access. Two is to have the right people who know what to do with this data. Because quant में क्या है ना कि it is very easy to kind of create a good backtest. And generally आप देखोगे तो काफी backtest में जो पेपर पे दिखता है वो एक्चुअल में नहीं आता है.
करेक्ट. तो यू लाइक स्लिपेज वगैरह और ये सारी चीजें उसमें,
स्लिपेजेस आपने ठीक से देखी नहीं है, कर्व फिट करना बहुत ईजी है, राइट, बिकॉज यू हैव परफेक्ट हाइंडसाइट, करेक्ट, जब आप मॉडल बना रहे हो. तो ये सारे जो कॉमन फैलेसीज है, कॉमन मिस्टेक्स है, वो कैसे अवॉइड करना है, दैट इज व्हाट मेक्स अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन एन एक्सपीरियंस्ड quant researcher versus somebody who's not experienced to kind of build this or do this, right? And you can only learn over a period of time with experience, to be honest. तो वो एक बड़ा फर्क आ जाता है. Two is obviously technology or let's say the infra that we have. So that infra again, because it has been created for let's say HFT, that infra is built built in such a way where access to data, access to markets, latency, all of that is very very supportive, like the order management system, the entire risk management overlay. तो वो सारी चीजें उसका भी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. Because if you think about it, in one sense we are more like a technology company.
Exactly, yeah.
But operating in the finance world, or our product is more like, you know, operating in the finance world, but it's largely a technology company.
So coming to the AMC part of the things, so before this discussion you told that there have been strategies which you have been testing or deploying over the last few years, like the one you mentioned about investing also, and now you are bringing the same kind of strategies in the say mutual fund space. Or so how's that, like what all strategies have you built over time and how does that work?
So see, ultimately एक म्यूचुअल फंड का एक सर्टन दायरा है, राइट? लाइक व्हाट इज डिफाइंड बाय सेबी फॉर एवरी कैटेगरी. आप क्या कर सकते हो, कौन सी कैटेगरी या कौन से सेगमेंट में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हो, कहाँ नहीं कर सकते हो. सो ऑल ऑफ दैट इज काइंड ऑफ वेल डिफाइंड बाय सेबी. सो वी हैव टू ऑब्वियसली व्हाटएवर वी कम अप विद हैज टू बी विद इन दोस बाउंड्रीज. दैट्स फर्स्ट. सेकंड थिंग इज दैट बिफोर आई कम टू स्ट्रेटजीज ना, व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड इज के व्हाई शुड समबडी इवन लुक एट क्वांट, राइट? तो लेट मी जस्ट टेक अ स्टेप बैक हियर. लेट्स लुक एट द वेस्ट. मतलब लेट्स लुक एट यूएस, राइट? बिकॉज इट्स प्रीटी मच द लार्जेस्ट मार्केट इन द वर्ल्ड बाय मार्केट कैप, साइज, एवरीथिंग. व्हेन यू लुक एट द यूएस ना, लेट्स लुक एट द लास्ट लेट्स से 15 साल का ट्रेंड. लास्ट 15 साल में आप देखोगे ना, तो इफ यू लुक एट द म्यूचुअल फंड स्पेस देयर और द पब्लिक मार्केट इन्वेस्टिंग स्पेस, तो म्यूचुअल फंड स्ट्रोक ETFs, मैं अगर जो उसको कंबाइन कर लूँ यूएस में, which is generally where retail is investing, 15 years back passive funds, and the reason I'm mentioning passive is, I'm not saying हम लोग passive funds करने वाले हैं अभी के लिए. The reason I'm mentioning passive is because passive is a simplest form of quant. passive में कोई फंड मैनेजर इन्वॉल्व नहीं है ना.
हाँ, कोई नहीं.
वहाँ पे एक सिंपल लॉजिक डिफाइंड है, उस लॉजिक से स्टॉक्स अंदर आते हैं या बाहर जाते हैं. करेक्ट. So in the simplest form of quant, which is passives, 15 years back in US was less than 20% market share.
Okay.
Today, it's more than 50% market share.
Yeah, correct. Almost, yeah.
Okay. Now, why has that happened? Second thing is that, before we come to the why, the second thing that has happened is that another category which has been one of the fastest growing categories along with passives is active quant. So active quant में I would say some of your smart beta strategies, or factor funds बोलते हैं, right? या multi-factor funds बोलते हैं. So that is the other category which has also grown exponentially. Let me give you a number. In 2025 calendar year in US, almost $1 trillion came into ETFs.
Okay.
So ETFs is largely a combination of, you know, passive funds and active quant or smart beta strategies.
Yeah.
And almost $250 billion got redeemed from pure active strategies.
People are shifting towards. Okay.
And this has not been a trend only for 2025. This is broadly a trend for the last 5 years there. So the point I'm trying to make is that धीरे धीरे अभी इसका होने का कारण क्या है? इसका होने का कारण ये है, investors are generally now saying or seeing in terms of data is that it is becoming more and more difficult for a large percentage of funds to outperform the benchmark. Okay, so funds which are managed by active fund managers, a lot of them or a large part of them are not able to beat the benchmark.
अल्फा नहीं क्रिएट कर पा रहे हैं.
बीटा ही अगर जो देना है या बीटा माइनस रिटर्न मिलना है, तो लॉजिकली इन्वेस्टर बोलेगा कि भाई मैं बीटा कमाने के लिए मैं क्यों फीस भरूं?
मेक सेंस.
बीटा तो मुझे एज गुड एज जीरो कॉस्ट पे मिल रहा है, तो व्हाई शुड आई पे एन एक्टिव फंड मैनेजर टू गिव मी बीटा और गिव मी बीटा माइनस रिटर्न्स? दे कम टू एन एक्टिव मैनेजर और एन एक्टिव फंड फॉर अल्फा, बिकॉज बीटा इज एज गुड एज फ्री. Correct. So very simply put, that is the challenge, that is what we are seeing globally. Now, why is this happening? Okay, the reason this is happening in our view is not cyclical. ये ऐसा नहीं कि एक ट्रेंड है कि लास्ट 15 साल में हुआ, अगले 15 साल में चेंज हो जाएगा. In our view, the reason this is happening is because टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण access to data has become much easier and faster. Let's take an example. Right? Let's say 15 साल पहले या 20 साल पहले एनुअल रिपोर्ट कैसे आता था? कंपनी का फिजिकल आता था. लेट्स से मुझे कोई ऐसे स्पेसिफिक इन्फॉर्मेशन जो P&L बैलेंस शीट में नहीं है, मुझे एनुअल रिपोर्ट पढ़ के ही पता चल सकती थी. करेक्ट. नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स, कहीं कुछ ऑडिटर का कमेंट, राइट? एंड दैट इज नथिंग बट इन्फॉर्मेशन, राइट? वो इन्फॉर्मेशन से मुझे कुछ नया पता चल रहा था जो P&L बैलेंस शीट में नहीं मेंशन्ड है. उसमें फर्क क्या था कि जो इंसान एनुअल रिपोर्ट पढ़ता था हैड मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड जो नहीं पढ़ता था हैड लेस इन्फॉर्मेशन. करेक्ट. Which means there was an information arbitrage. Correct? या मेरे पास जो एज था वो इन्फॉर्मेशन का था जो किसी और के पास शायद नहीं था, बिकॉज वो नहीं पढ़ रहा था. आज की तारीख में एनुअल रिपोर्ट कैसे आ रहा है? There is no edge. Right? So the point here is that कि भाई आज की तारीख में टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण इन्फॉर्मेशन आर्बिट्राज इज रिड्यूसिंग और आइदर गोइंग अवे. और दूसरा क्या हो रहा है कि पहले there was only a limited amount of information which was available. Like आज से 10 साल पहले could you have imagined कि मैं sentiment को कोई quantitative way में देख सकता हूँ या मुझे वो data भी मिल सकता है?
I don't think so. Yeah.
नहीं, right? Like was there a way where there was a model which could, let's say some model which was reading through everything which is out there in social media, in the public domain, Reddit, Twitter, जहाँ पे भी है, right? Was there a platform which was giving you that data? Answer is no.
Yeah.
Today is it available? Answer is yes. Does it impact stocks? Does it impact sectors? Does it impact flows? Answer is yes. So it is a variable which is important. That variable was not accessible earlier. That variable is accessible today.
So do you think that, say, people talk about Bloomberg terminal or something like that, ki
Right.
it gives access to data and very fast and all that. Does that make a difference if, like,
In a very limited way. Because see, आप ये समझो कि Bloomberg terminal is a good terminal. We also have subscribed to it. But again, it can only give me a certain amount of limited data, right? Plus the history also that I will get there is only for a certain amount of period of time. So see, a lot of these data is I will only get for a certain things from one place. आज की तारीख में at least in India, we have not found a single place कि मुझे एक ही जगह से सारा डेटा मिल जाए for what we need. तो out here, what you have to do is that कि you have to access multiple data sets, multiple different vendors to get different type of data. और इसमें होगा भी क्या कि let's say 5 vendor है जो आपको एक तरह का डेटा दे सकते हैं. Until unless you know कि किसका डेटा better है, किसके डेटा में let's say gaps नहीं है, clean है, कोई issues नहीं है. Until unless you know that, आप उस वेंडर का डेटा लोगे बाद में पता चलेगा कि ये डेटा सही नहीं था. Lot of them could be international data vendors who are giving you some of this data. And plus, it's just not about India data. Now, that experience of investing globally also makes a big difference. Because ultimately, now we're in a global world. तो कुछ चीज़ें क्या है ना कि you come to know कि there are certain, let's say, signals, certain, behavior in the market, which is different in the advanced markets or global markets. And you want to bring that experience also into your models.
Yeah.
या वहाँ पे कोई लोग क्या डेटा यूज कर रहे हैं.
And that shift might come to India
Ultimately,
later on. Yeah.
see, because होता क्या है ना कि ultimately आप किसी भी quant trader से बात करोगे तो you will see that के they will say कि मैं after a certain period of time signals decay. But what ultimately happens is that yes, that signal decays, but it is moving in some other place. So the idea is to find that place.
Yeah.
And you have to do that on a continuous basis. So that is what we are trying to do out here. So just coming back, the point I was trying to make when I was giving the US example is that in US now, when you look at data, the largest category is passive, right? The second largest category where we look at the growth, the fastest growing category is active quant. And the smallest category now, right, or which has now become, let's say, some kind of minority in some sense, is discretionary funds. Okay. Whereas in India, it's broadly reverse.
Yeah.
Large part of our AUM is discretionary funds. Passive is relatively small because वो last 5 साल का phenomenon है. Right? We think structurally because अगर जो अपने को नहीं लगता है कि technology reverse करेगा, right, यहाँ से, and if we believe that technology will only progress from here, then what will happen is that this trend will also pick up in India.
Yeah, I think the penetration is like it can be huge. अभी तो कुछ भी नहीं है. So if you're saying 50% passive markets में है US में, तो इंडिया में तो कुछ भी नहीं. It's like 7-8%.
Yes. So I am saying passive grow करेगा, active quant भी grow करेगा. Because see, ultimately investors को तो alpha चाहिए. सब लोग बीटा से खुश नहीं होने वाले हैं.
Correct.
Right? So the space that we are going to operate in is not passives to start with. But the space we are going to operate in is active because ultimately we want to use quant, but we want to do something which is a lot more, evolved in terms of quant. Not as simple as passive कि भाई एक variable पे हमने एक index बना लिया, which is a good thing, but that's simple.
Okay.
Right? So we want to obviously bring in our capabilities, our experience of quantitative, working with data, working with technology, and bring that to active quant because ultimately we want to generate alpha for our investors.
But in general, passive will always be cyclical. No? जैसे मान लो कि क्यों लोग शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं पैसिव की तरफ क्योंकि यूएस मार्केट ने अच्छा किया पिछले कुछ सालों में. अगर यूएस मार्केट अच्छा नहीं करता तो लोग मे बी शायद पैसिव में नहीं शिफ्ट होते क्योंकि दे मस्ट हैव प्रेफर्ड एक्टिव.
ऐसा नहीं है ना बिकॉज सी एक्टिव से पैसिव में लोग शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं ना एक कारण से कि मार्केट्स ने अच्छा किया है. एक्टिव से पैसिव में इसलिए शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं बिकॉज आप रीड करोगे या रिसर्च करोगे यू विल सी मेनी आर्टिकल्स विच आर कवरिंग सेइंग दैट के ऑलमोस्ट 80% ऑफ द फंड्स एक्टिव फंड्स इन द यूएस आर अंडर परफॉर्मिंग द बेंचमार्क. तो दैट इज द डेटा बिकॉज ऑफ विच पीपल आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स पैसिव्स. उनको मार्केट में तो इन्वेस्ट करना ही, वेदर मार्केट अच्छा करे नहीं करे इज going to impact the overall flows. But one category versus the other category is largely because of the fact that one category which was dominant earlier and which was outperforming or generating alpha is not able to do it today. So it's simple ना, अगर जो मैं benchmark को beat नहीं कर पाऊँ तो why should I pay fees? Right? So then I might as well go to a simple passive product and just get market returns. Right? And then I will look at, let's say, other strategies which can give me alpha. And which is where, like I said, is where the active quant comes in, the smart beta products come in. Because the search for alpha is not going to go away.
Yeah. So talking about the products, let's come to the AlphaGrep AMC part. What are products which our users can expect, our audience can expect, which can come in?
So obviously, we haven't received. So we've just got our mutual fund license a month back. We filed for a couple of strategies with the regulator. We are hoping to get the approval soon. See, we think that in the last few years, what has happened is that a lot of money has gone into equities, because markets have also done well. So rightly so. But hua kya na, is karan, there is one segment of the market which is, let's say, the fixed income segment, or let's say the low risk segment in the client portfolio, especially for retail investors, in some sense has got ignored, and that money also has potentially gone into equities. Okay, so what we are potentially seeing is that काफी portfolios are skewed towards equities or high risk, whether their risk profile allows them to do that or not, but the search for returns has made them kind of chase equities versus, let's say, trying to say ke bhai, because ultimately what you have to realize is that equity markets will go through cycles.
Yeah.
Just because we've not seen a certain cycle in the last 5 years doesn't mean it can't happen in the future.
I think a lot of retail has not seen bear markets also. That's one of the reasons, because a lot of people came in markets after COVID.
Yes.
And they have seen like really good bullish markets we have we've had. So उनको पता नहीं है कि bear markets can also come, और फिर उसके बाद क्या होने वाला है.
Yes.
तो they have like skew कर लिया उन्होंने अपना portfolio towards equity, but I think multi-asset can be like something.
Yeah. So having seen multiple cycles historically, what I've realized is कि भाई markets में कोई भी phase कभी भी आ सकता है, which means that unless you follow a certain asset allocation, it is very difficult to kind of peacefully go through any period, right? Or with a smooth ride. So that's the reason, what we thought was that how can we give that smooth ride to an investor? Okay, without him trying to worry about the fact that markets ऊपर गए हैं तो मुझे शायद कुछ profit booking करना चाहिए, market नीचे गए तो मुझे add करना चाहिए. How should I time, let's say, investing in gold or any other commodity, right? What is the kind of allocation that I should have in fixed income? So what we thought about it is that can we take away some of these hassles from the client, and can we create a dynamic multi-asset product which can actually move around these 3 asset classes in an active fashion. And the reason we believe we can develop a good model around it is for a very simple reason that as AlphaGrep हम लोग का 16 साल का experience of investing in global markets and across different asset classes. So ऐसा नहीं कि हमने नहीं किया है, right? So as a group we invest across equities, commodities, currencies, interest rates, all of that. So we brought some of that experience and we've created a dynamic asset allocation. It's a proprietary model that we've created. And that's the asset allocation model that we plan to deploy on the multi-asset fund. So that model will actively allocate across these 3 asset classes, right? And the approach is not just dependent on कि भाई equity महंगा या सस्ता है. Generally क्या होता है, what we've seen as an approach where people reduce allocations to equities,
valuations like
वो generally valuations पे dependent होता है, and that means that आप सिर्फ equity देख रहे हो.
Correct.
और equity के valuations पे आप decide करो कि मुझे equity में ज़्यादा डालना है, कम डालना है. Our approach is not that. Our approach is actually, there are certain quantitative approaches which are used globally. So it's a combination of a couple of approaches. So that approach is a combination of a couple of things, which includes things like maximum diversification approach. And then in some sense, optimization for Sharpe or risk adjusted returns जो बोलते हैं. So what we are trying to optimize for कि भाई for the per unit of risk that you are taking, आपको किस asset class में कितना लगाना चाहिए. So we are looking at all 3 asset classes at the same time rather than looking at one asset class in isolation and deciding कि मुझे पूरे portfolio में क्या करना चाहिए. So these are quantitative approaches which are used globally, very very common. तो उसी अप्रोच को हमने इंडिया के लिए we've developed this model. We also deploy let's say asset allocation strategies in India because we deploy like I said across asset classes. तो उन्हीं के cues लेके हमने इंडिया के लिए मॉडल बनाया है. The other thing is that we've tested in India for 20 years, right? Because as you also rightly pointed out कि भाई लास्ट 5 साल के लिए टेस्ट करके तो मतलब नहीं, because 5 साल में साइकिल ही नहीं देखी है.
Correct.
तो what we did is we actually went back to as far back as 2007 because जहाँ तक हमको डेटा मिल सकता था we went back and we tested it. So we created a model basis a very long history plus taken cues from what we've seen globally around some of these approaches. There's also a macro overlay around valuations, but the primary approach is more quantitative, right? Which is not just valuations. So उसी के बेस में मॉडल बनाया है. Our objective was to create a strategy which is, let's say, relatively, I'm not saying low risk, but relatively lower risk than equities for sure. So at least our historical model shows us that the wall number is almost half or less than half of equities. And उसके बावजूद on a 20-year period, the historical backtest shows that it's generated a double-digit CAGR. So our idea was to give, or at least try and offer to clients something which is, which can be invested or as a more like a relatively lower risk strategy. जबकि अगर जो उनका horizon है 2-3 साल का, then they know for a matter of fact कि there is a higher probability of making, let's say, closer to double-digit returns with relatively low risk. So that was the broad thought process on creating that.
And what will be the our expense ratio?
See, our approach is going to be, like a fund house which is looking to partner with, the distribution network. Even if you see our existing funds, जो AIF PMS है, 90% of our, money that we've raised is from distribution partners. But वहाँ पे obviously the distribution partners are more wealth management outfits. यहाँ पे it will be a combination of the wealth management outfits plus the retail distribution network, right? So which is mutual fund distributors, the MFDs, national distributors, over a period of time even banks is what we want to target. So in that sense, we are looking at, whatever SEBI has anyways put caps, right, on TER. So we will work within those caps. We're not saying that this is a low risk strategy or a low cost strategy just because it's quant. That's not the approach here.
Got it. So apart from this, you told that there will be a flexi cap also.
Yes.
We know that there are so many flexi cap already in the market. What's the differentiation here?
Yeah. So first of all, so like I said, we already run a PMS. So our PMS already 3.5 साल से live है. It's a long only strategy. It's 100% quant. It's a multi-factor model. So when I say multi-factor, I will explain. So let me again try to take one step back. So generally क्या होता है ना कि with most, let's say, discretionary fund managers, एक तरह का style bias होता है. Most of them, not saying all of them, but a lot of them have a style bias. Now what do I mean by style bias? Let's say कोई आप fund manager देखोगे तो जब वैल्यू स्टॉक्स अच्छा कर रहे होते हैं तो उनका परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा होता है. कोई ऐसे फेजेस होंगे मार्केट के जब क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स अच्छा कर रहे हैं तो कुछ फंड मैनेजर्स अच्छा कर रहे हैं. कुछ ऐसा फेज होगा मार्केट में जब मोमेंटम चल रहा है तो कुछ फंड मैनेजर्स अच्छा कर रहे हैं. हर अलग अलग साइकिल में आप देखोगे तो दूसरे तरह के फंड मैनेजर्स अच्छा कर रहे हैं ना. वो क्यों होता है? वो इसलिए होता है बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ फंड मैनेजर्स, उनका जो इन्वेस्टिंग स्टाइल है
दैट इज डिफरेंट,
वो अलग है. और वो जो मैंने अभी बोला, वैल्यू, मोमेंटम, क्वालिटी, ग्रोथ, राइट, ये अप्रोचेस के साथ अलाइंड है कोई ना कोई अप्रोच के साथ. तो होता क्या है कि जब मार्केट का अप्रोच या मार्केट का रेजिम और मेरा स्टाइल अगर जो अलाइंड हो गया तो मेरा परफॉर्मेंस बहुत अच्छा दिखेगा.
करेक्ट.
और जैसे ही कुछ साल चले गए और मार्केट का साइकिल चेंज हो गया, जैसे आप देखोगे तो प्री कोविड यू हैड दिस एंटायर फेज फॉर ऑलमोस्ट 3-4 साल जब हाई क्वालिटी हाई ग्रोथ स्टॉक्स अच्छा कर रहे थे.
Correct.
जैसे ही कोविड आया एंड उस टाइम पे आप देखोगे तो देयर वर सर्टेन सेट ऑफ मैनेजर्स हु वाज आल्सो डूइंग वेरी वेल, राइट, आउटशाइनिंग. देन केम कोविड, entire market regime changed, right? High growth, high quality took a backseat, and then in the next few years what did well was value and momentum. तो आप देखोगे तो उस टाइम पे जब वैल्यू और मोमेंटम चला तो you saw a different set of managers who you probably were not even recognizing pre-COVID.
Exactly, yeah.
And were doing exceptionally well. See, ये cycles चलते रहने वाली है, मार्केट की चलती रहेगी. And जनरली अगर जो स्टाइल किसी का बायस्ड है किसी एक के साथ तो यू विल सी दैट साइकिल्स इवन विद फंड मैनेजर्स. नाउ इसमें होता क्या है? लेट्स से इफ आई एम अ रिटेल इन्वेस्टर और लेट्स से इवन हिस्टोरिकली हाउ आई वुड इन्वेस्ट इज दैट कि भाई आई विल सी कि जब मुझे पैसे लगाने हैं तो लास्ट 1-2-3 ईयर ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड किसका अच्छा है.
करेक्ट.
और मैंने उसके बाद पैसे लगा दिए. जनरली आई एम सेइंग दिस इज व्हाट माय अप्रोच वाज आल्सो हिस्टोरिकली, राइट. नाउ इसके कारण होता क्या है कि इनवेरिएबली मैंने उसके साथ पैसा लगाया जो उस टाइम पे टॉप पे दिख रहा था. नाउ हो सकता है कि मैंने जब पैसा लगाया उसके 6 महीने बाद 12 महीने बाद मार्केट का रेजिम चेंज हो गया.
आपने मोमेंटम पे लगा दिया.
मैंने मोमेंटम पे लगा दिया बट मोमेंटम चलना बंद हो गया.
अब ग्रोथ चल रहा है.
अभी ग्रोथ चल रहा है. बट प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि मैंने तो मोमेंटम फंड में लगा दिया है और अभी चल रहा है ग्रोथ. तो अभी अगले जब तक मैं रियलाइज करूंगा कि मोमेंटम चलना बंद हो गया है और ग्रोथ चल रहा है,
ग्रोथ भी चले,
वो तब तक क्या है ना कि 2 साल निकल जाएंगे. मैं सोचूंगा नहीं ये वापस आएगा और तब तक आई विल बी होल्डिंग अ फंड विच इज प्रोबेबली अंडर परफॉर्मिंग एवरीथिंग एल्स इन द मार्केट. एंड देन होगा क्या? आई विल गो थ्रू दैट फ्रस्ट्रेशन पीरियड. अरे यार, आई हैव समथिंग विच इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग, लेट मी गेट आउट ऑफ दिस एंड लेट मी गो इनटू समथिंग एल्स विच इज परफॉर्मिंग दैट टाइम. एंड उसके कारण होता क्या है ना कि एंड आई हैव आल्सो सीन हिस्टोरिकली इज दैट जनरली फंड रिटर्न्स और इन्वेस्टर रिटर्न्स मैच नहीं होता है. क्योंकि होता क्या है कि काफी बार इन्वेस्टर्स मूव इन and out of funds at the wrong time for one of these reasons. इसी के कारण now coming to multi-factor, because ours is a quant approach, इसमें दो चीजें नहीं है, bias नहीं है, मशीन है. ह्यूमन माइंड में बायस आता है नॉर्मली, राइट, बिकॉज कि भाई वी आर एक्सपोज टू अ सर्टेन वे कि भाई इस तरह ही स्टॉक्स अच्छे करते हैं, तो दैट बायस क्रीप्स इन. मशीन है, कोई बायस नहीं है. दूसरा ये है कि इमोशंस नहीं है. तो ये दोनों चीजें नहीं है. सो इन अ मल्टी फैक्टर अप्रोच व्हाट हैपेंस इज दैट वी आर नॉट सेइंग दैट कि सिर्फ वैल्यू चलेगा, सिर्फ मोमेंटम चलेगा, सिर्फ ग्रोथ चलेगा, सिर्फ क्वालिटी चलेगा. वी हैव बिल्ट अ मॉडल व्हिच हैज ऑल दीज अप्रोचेस built into the model. So we are not biased to any one of them. And the model is built in such a way that depending on what approach is doing well at what point in time, the model adapts. वो मॉडल मार्केट के तरह या साथ अडेप्ट करता है. हाँ, कभी लीड होगा, कभी लैग होगा, वो थोड़ा गैप आ सकता है, विच इज ऑब्वियसली देयर, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली मतलब मॉडल है, भगवान नहीं है. बट होगा क्या इसके कारण सबसे बड़ा फायदा ये होता है कि यू विल गेट अल्फा बट ऑन अ मोर कंसिस्टेंट बेसिस. And the second thing which will not happen is you will not get, alpha which is very large in certain periods and alpha which is highly negative in certain periods. So what you will potentially not see is a plus 10% alpha एक साल में and then a minus 10% alpha next year. Because मेरा स्टाइल चल रहा था तो मैंने बहुत बड़ा alpha बना लिया, मेरा स्टाइल चलना बंद हो गया तो बहुत negative alpha आ गया. What you will see is छोटा सा alpha, let's say 3-4-5% का, but on a more consistent, let's say आपने 2-3 साल के लिए पैसा लगाया तो on a consistent rolling return basis, you will see that alpha. See, ultimately for an investor, when he is coming to an active fund, ऑब्जेक्टिव तो अल्फा का है ना. मार्केट रिटर्न चाहिए तो बीटा ले लूं, इंडेक्स फंड ले लूं. अल्टीमेटली यू कमिंग फॉर अल्फा. सो इफ यू आर कमिंग फॉर अल्फा एंड इफ यू गेटिंग अल्फा ऑन अ कंसिस्टेंट बेसिस, that is where we are trying to achieve the objective. So that is what our model is trying to achieve or has achieved in our PMS so far. Exactly what we will replicate in our going forward on our any kind of stock picking strategy, to start with in a flexi cap fund.
Got it. So does this reduce the job of a fund manager, like if we have quant machines or something like that? क्योंकि अब now you have to just oversight ही रहेगा, I think, fund, like you have to see the signals and all that, maybe analyze the signals, but everything is done by the machine, right?
Let me try and answer this for you in a certain different way. So let's say this model that we have, and one of our teams has researched on this model, and इसके अंदर काफ़ी सारे alphas होते हैं जो signals बोलते हैं. And one of our teams has been, or the fund manager has been working on this model for almost a decade now. Let's say 7-8 साल पहले उस मॉडल में जो हम लोग सिग्नल या अल्फा बोलते हैं, let's say P ratio is one such variable or signal, right? So the number of variables that the model had at that point of time was running into a few hundreds. ऐसे 300-400 वेरिएबल्स थे जो मॉडल में इंक्लूडेड थे आज से 8-9 साल पहले. आज की तारीख में द नंबर ऑफ सिग्नल्स विच आर देयर इन दैट सेम मॉडल विच इज helping us decide on what stocks to buy or sell is running into a few thousand. So to answer your question, see, यहाँ पे क्या है ना कि on a day-to-day basis, the fund manager is not doing the same job as what a discretionary fund manager is doing, which is of what to buy or sell. But on a day-to-day basis out here, his job is to how to keep adapting and how to keep kind of improving the model. So the idea is to keep researching, because there is no model that you can build saying that कि मैंने आज ये मॉडल बना लिया और फंड मैनेजर बोलेगा मैं भी शांति से बैठ सकता हूँ, अब ये मॉडल चलते रहेगा. Doesn't work that way. So yes, on a day-to-day basis, he's not sitting and deciding what stocks to buy or sell, because we let the model decide what to buy or sell. We don't intervene, because as soon as you intervene, then you're bringing in emotion, you're bringing in bias. So we let the model decide, or let the algorithm decide, okay? Because algorithm is defined by us. And what is important is कि model बनाने के पहले या algorithm बनाने के पहले obviously बहुत मेहनत गई है, right? You've kind of gone through years of data, decades of data, आपने research किया है, ultimately काफ़ी सारी different patterns देखे हैं, वो सब decide करने के बाद model बना है. But then you trust the model to work. And then at the back end, you keep doing research to keep improving on your model.
So coming to the last question of this podcast, sure. When are you finally planning to launch the fund?
So we are really excited to hit the market as soon as possible. So we are hoping that as soon as we get the approval for our schemes, we'll be able to launch.
So thank you so much for doing this with us. I think our users will get a lot of insight on HFTs, MFTs, how do quant firms operate, what all do, say, quant investing firms operate, and about your AMC also and your upcoming funds. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having us here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much everyone for watching this. If you guys have any feedback for this, do let us know in the comment section, and do subscribe to the channel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Investments in the securities market are subject to market risk. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.